So check out this article that I found from the Associated Press. It's titled American Dream Convinces People Loneliness is Normal. So I'm just going to read through a little bit of the article. But before I do that, I would like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace to the whole full that scattered abroad to the four corners of the earth. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So this is the paragraph that I wanted to start off with. People are lonely the world over, but as far back as the 19th century, when the word loneliness began to be used in its current context in American life, some were already asking the question: do the cultures of American society that emphasize on individualism that's that spreading out with impunity over a vast, sometimes outsized landscape, and encourage isolation and alienation, right? Because in America, people are taught from an early age to go out there and get everything on their own, do their own thing. And let's say like a country like the Congo, or like somewhere in the Middle East, or somewhere in the continent of Africa, you families stick together and they build together, which is a more sustainable and an ideal way to go, because you can have generational wealth be built easier when families stick together, because you can combine your resources, your increments, and then you could build towards something for the next generation. However, here in America, you're taught to just be an individual, go to school, rack up some debt, get a job to help pay off the debt that you racked up to get the job. And then so maybe, just maybe, you'll have a good enough salary to afford a house, or maybe you'll find a partner and y'all can combine your incomes, and then y'all end up investing in a house together, but that's still predicated on debt. So there's so many maybes that go on in America. Nothing's cut and paste, nothing's steady. And so it seems like a lot of people, they just get fortunate in a way to where they get a good enough situation to 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 make their lives more steady. And even then, it's gilded, because whatever you have comes with strings. You understand? Like I said before, if you want to find a wife or a girl or buy a house, then most likely what? She's going to want you to marry her. However, marriage in this society makes you sign paperwork and a contract. And so, let's say things go left in a relationship, then what? You got to go back and forth to court, go through a divorce. She's going to take half your wealth. You understand? So, there's so much doubt here in America, and there's a lot of obstacles to jump through. But now that I come to think of it, let me go up a couple paragraphs. So, here we go. In reality, loneliness in America can be deadly. This month, U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy declared that it's an American epidemic. You heard that? So loneliness is declared an American epidemic, saying that it takes a toll as smoking upon the population of the United States. Millions of people in America are struggling in the shadows, he said, and that's not right. Continuing, he cited some potent forces: the gradual withering of long-standing institutions, decreased engagement with churches, and fraying bonds of extended families. So, that's a bunch of nonsense. But I could see what he's saying because people are venting about how nothing feels the same anymore, even when they go to church, because it's becoming more and more obvious that going to church is a money grab. That's really all it's about. Um, Also, the article mentions withering of long-standing institutions, right? Because people are starting to wake up and realize that going to school and getting into debt is a huge risk that some aren't even willing to take. Because think about it, you're gonna rack up some debt and then go out into the job market where it's a whim of circumstance, and you got to compete with hundreds of thousands of other people that are looking for a job, and then take into account that you're a person of color, or so-called African American. It's just many factors to where, like I said, nothing's cut and paste. You don't know how things is gonna work out for you. So life is not easy, and that's the way it is in America. America means bitter. So that's the reason why, or one of the reasons why, many of our people suffer from loneliness, especially men. And when I say my people, I'm talking about the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. However, this video is really aimed towards the men, okay? Because women have it easier in this society. So let me just jump to the scriptures that I have. It's enough of that article. Like I said, I only wanted to read a few paragraphs. If y'all want, y'all can check it out for yourselves. So here we go. This is 1 John 4:4. Ye are of the Most High, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. So you have to look towards your higher power, okay? And you have to rely on your higher power, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shah, because that is the only way you're gonna get the strength and courage to cope with this current world that we live in. It says, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. So that's where your true strength is going to come from. Verse 5, they are of the world, therefore speak they are of the world, and the world heareth them. Right? Because if you're just out here just spewing a bunch of nonsense or things that aren't going to matter in the end, then, the vast majority of people, they're gonna hear you. They're gonna want to listen to you. But if you tell them to repent and come back to their higher power, you tell them that they're Israelites, then it's not valuable information to them, to the vast majority of people. You know what I'm saying? Verse 6, we are of God, he that heareth the Most High heareth us. He that is not of the Most High heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. So it's important to dwell in the spirit of the Most High, because again, this is where your strength is going to come from. These scriptures. And it also gives you an explanation as to why things are the way that they are in this world. You suffer from loneliness. You might even go through bouts of depression. It's because the earth needs new management. You understand? People are in error people fail to realize that the whole point of Yahweh Shai coming back is to set the world in order. And that's what we also desperately need. So, next precept. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus 37, verse 12. But be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry. So, in other words, surround yourself with like-minded people, people who you align with mentally, because they'll be there to help and support you when you're at your lowest. You may be at your lowest point, spiritually or mentally. However, if you have that support, it helps bring balance. You know? So it's good to have like-minded brothers and like-minded individuals around. You can't go wrong with that. And, godly men keep the commandments of the Most High to the best of their ability. We all know that we're going to fall short every now and then because we're in these current bodies that we have. And Apostle Paul mentioned how we're going to get new bodies. So until we get our new bodies, we're just going to be, subject to struggling mentally, physically, and emotionally. You understand? So verse 13, and let the counsel of thine own heart stand, for there is no man more faithful unto thee than it. Let's read that again. And let the counsel of thine own heart stand, for there is no man more faithful unto thee than it. In other words, if you're in the right mind frame, if you're in the right spirit, then stay in that right spirit, because that's what's gonna again give you the strength to endure. You understand? And don't put all your trust and faith into, people that aren't even into the truth the way that you are. Because if you do, you'll just end up disappointing. Because, people have expectations for people, but the best way to go in life is to just really have no expectations for people. If anything, you should really expect the worst from people. But, trust is earned. It's not given. And at the same time, you do have to go out on a whim and have some form of trust for a person. You trust that they, they're a decent person. And, they wouldn't do nothing that'll transgress against you. You go about life with that mentality. However, you just don't hold them to the same standard as you would hold somebody that's in the truth in. But I guess if you really want to be safe, trust no one. But again, this goes back into loneliness. You see, we're not even supposed to be living like this. You really are supposed to have trust, and trust goes hand in hand with love. Okay? So what is love? Love is keeping the commandments according to the Bible, right? Which is tied into loyalty and sacrifice, right? The same way Yahweh Shai went on the cross and died for his people, that's a form of love, because he was the ultimate sacrifice for the Israelites. You understand? And every promise that was made by the Most High and Yahweh Shai is going to be kept. You understand? So verse 14, for a man's mind is sometime won't tell him more than seven watchmen that sitteth above and in high tower. Yeah, because if you have people around you and they care about you and they love you, they'll see things that you may not even see. They'll correct you, like, hey, yo, instead of doing this, you should do that. And then And if you're wise, you'll consider if the person that's trying to correct you is right himself or herself. Verse 15, and above all, just pray to the Most High, that he will direct thy way in truth. Let reason go before every enterprise, and the counsel before every action. The countenance is a sign of changing of the heart. Four manner of things appear, good and evil, life and death, but the tongue ruleth over them continually. So believe it or not, you can usually see where somebody's coming from by their countenance. You know, you just look at them, look them in their eyes. You can also look at their works, because the scriptures also say that you will know them by their fruits. So that's how you can usually gauge where somebody's coming from, and then you deal with them accordingly. Next precept. This is Isaiah 24, verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languishes and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. Because, as I was saying earlier, we're not even supposed to be living in this world the way that we are. You know, subject to all the evil, wickedness, corruption, lies, and greed. And it does take a toll on you, and it affects the way that you live. You understand? So let's read that again. Isaiah 24 and 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languishes and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. So, you know, nothing's hitting the same. You know, the things that you used to like to do, it's not fun anymore. You know, you're trying to come up with new reasons as to why you should continue to look for hope in this world. You know what I mean? Like, it's that bad out here. So, again, that's why having trust and faith in the Most High and His Son plays a huge role in life. Because if Yahweh Shai doesn't come back to set this world in order, then we're just going to be languishing. And it's just going to get worse and worse. Let me get one more precept. Actually, no, let me continue with verse 5. The earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Right? And the earth is polluted, even from an environmental standpoint. You understand? You got microplastics in the water, chemicals in the environment, things of that sort. And so that affects people's lives. But it's insidious. It's little by little. And it's also taking a toll on the earth. You know, the way that the world or society is set up is where everything's fast. This is a microwave society. So in order to deliver fast products and convenience, it comes at the expense of people's health. You understand? And all of this is done for profit and for greed. And a lot of businesses and corporations cut corners in order to increase profit at the expense of people's health. You understand? So when we enter into the kingdom, when a new world is set up, right? We're not going to be seeing things ran the way that they are now in the kingdom. Pretty much we're going to be going back to the ancient world, where it's going to be sustainability. people are gonna have a more simple way to live, and not be all up in this capitalist system the way that we are. You understand? Because in order for capitalism to function and work, you're gonna have the vast majority of people that are on the bottom, just suffering and working hard. But it's like, how do the vast majority of people feel? You know, do you really want to work 50 years of your life, 40 years of your life, or 20 years of your life for a job, that doesn't even appreciate you, or that you don't even appreciate doing yourself, but you just do it for a check? That's really no way for us to live. So really think about that and consider it. So verse 6, therefore has the earth devoured the earth. I'm sorry, therefore has the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. And the way that that's going to happen is from thermonuclear destruction, which is getting ready to take place when you take into account WW3. Joe Biden, he made a statement the other day saying how this administration set up the next administration with a good situation. And then when I heard that, I'm like, yo, is this guy delusional? Because that's absurd. I mean, did he forget the amount of millions, not even millions, like trillions, that has been tacked onto the debt since he got into office? And that's not even including the other last administrations. So things is going down in America, not up. I mean, that's for sure. So, verse 7, the new wine mourneth, the vine languishes, all the merry-hearted do sigh. So, wine means philosophies and ways of thinking. The scriptures is known as wine also. The new wine mourneth, the vine languishes, and the merry-hearted do sigh. Because even though we have come into this truth and we have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, it's still hard to navigate in a world that's just full of negativity. You know, being a godly person isn't supported in this world. If anything, you get rewarded for being cynical and cutthroat. But what if you're the type of person that doesn't want to operate and maneuver in life like that? Then there's no place for you in this world. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, we all go through it, especially in this truth. And it's not meant to be easy. But again, your strength and courage comes from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. So you just gotta hold on. Verse 8, the mirth of tablets ceases, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceases. And mirth means entertainment. So if you think nothing feels fun now, as it stands, I mean, this ain't gonna be no more entertainment once the Most High sends his son back to destroy this place. And then we'll really be able to come into our new lives and live the way that we would like to. Verse 9, they shall not drink wine with a song, strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down, the house is shut up, that no man may come in. And this is talking about America, the city of confusion, Babylon the Great. There is a crying for wine in the streets, all joy is darkened, and the mirth of the land is gone. And so people are going to be looking for answers in times of dystopia and destruction and chaos. And those that don't walk in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High, they're not going to get the answers. And they would have gotten it if they would have listened to the prophets of the Most High. So a lot of people are going to be in confusion when judgment day happens. And, judgment can come in spurts. The scriptures speak about Jacob's trouble and how that's a time that the world has never seen before. So a lot of people are going to get caught up in that. They might not even make it to see the chariots and the missiles of the Most High. Really. So that's how real it is. And the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. So that's gonna be a dark day. I mean, think about it. Thermonuclear destruction takes place, then what? Everything's gonna be in smoke and flames. So the only way you're gonna be able to make it through that is if you're of the elect, and if you're favored by the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? So let me just get one more precept. Let's do this. Ecclesiasticus 51:17. I profiteth therein, therefore will I ascribe glory unto him that giveth me wisdom. You see? So turn to the Most High, give your heart to the Most High, and he'll give you strength and courage to endure. So with that, shalom. Until next time.